Hello everybody, how are you doing today? I am doing very well, thank you. Today I really wanted to do a full piece, just a painting. I feel like I haven't sat down and drawn and painted like a full piece in a really long time. So that is what I wanted to do today. And I am, as you can imagine from the title of this video, I'm 100% inspired by The Lord of the Rings. So me and my husband have actually been rewatching all the movies. They are actually his favourite movies and actually now mine. I have seen them before, I've watched them a few times, but I don't know, recently I feel very connected to the characters in the strangest way. The only way I can explain it is that I feel like I've been on a journey for a really long time. So it reminded me of when Frodo comes back to the Shire. That's like me coming back to England. I've come back to the Shire. So anyway, no, I really love the movies, and I especially love the relationship between Sam and Frodo. And there's this really touching moment. If you've seen the movie, then you'll know what I'm on about. If you haven't, then spoilers, but there's just a really touching moment towards the end of the last movie where they're together, and Sam is kind of very heavily leaned on by Frodo, as you can imagine. So that is what I've illustrated there. It's Sam and Frodo in Mordor, and as you can see, Frodo is looking worse for wear, very worried, and Sam, throughout the whole 3 movies, he has a very positive attitude towards everything, and he always sees the good in every situation, even in this situation. So that's why I've given Sam this little smile. So he does have the worried eyebrows, but I've given him this little smile. So Sam is on the left and Frodo is on the right in this picture. And then for the background, as you can see, I'm using some watercolors and adding a little bit of texture as well with a cloth. But I wanted the main focus to be on the 2 characters, so I didn't want the background to take away from that or distract from it too much. So I've just put them sort of amongst the rocks, amongst the mountains of Mordor, and at the end too, you'll see I added a little bit of lava for the background. The actual sketch, as you can probably imagine, took the longest time. Drawing Hobbit feet is extremely difficult. So yeah, they're both hobbits. Obviously, if you've watched Lord of the Rings, you will know that. And they have large feet and large ears for the proportion of their body. However, obviously I wanted them to look very cute. Like, that's kind of, I always style my characters to look kind of cute, so I wanted them to have like big heads and these little faces, but that was kind of difficult to make their feet the right size. I actually still think that they could have been bigger. But honestly, drawing feet in general, feet and hands and ears, like little features, are really difficult to get the angles and the proportion right. So as you might have seen when I was just drawing it then, it's quite hard to to get the exact proportion. So actually I'm really, really happy that these characters don't wear shoes, because it gave me it gave me a good reason to practice drawing feet, especially because the feet are such a prominent part of the characters. Like, they have these huge feet and they're hairy as well, which, how do you make a hairy massive foot look cute? I don't know. But I do really like the way it turned out, and I'm actually really happy with the feet and the placement of the legs and the feet as well. Also, they're hobbits, so they're very short, so to try and make them look small and make their legs look small, that was also quite difficult. But in the end I was happy with the placement. If I would change it a little bit, I would make the feet and ears a little bit bigger, like I'd said. But to kind of play with the proportion a little bit and give the illusion that their feet were massive, I gave them tiny hands, so you can kind of get an idea of how small their hands are compared to their feet. So that's kind of how I did it. And yeah, so I mainly did watercolor for the base layer, and all the colors were, I think I used Winsor & Newton watercolors, and then I went on top with Prismacolor coloured pencils. And to do the shading, I used the first layer of shading, like a light colour, and then a mid-tone, and then a darker colour for some of the shading. And then at the end here, as you can see, I used orange to represent the lava and sort of the Mount Doom in the background there. And that is it. I absolutely loved doing this one. It's probably one of my favourite paintings I've ever done, so I really hope that you enjoy it. I hope it makes you smile, because when I look at it, I just am reminded of the beautiful friendship that Sam and Frodo have and the tough journey that they've been on. So I hope it makes you smile just the same, and I will be back next week with a brand new video as always. Take care everybody, have a lovely week. Bye.